So the first one is conch. When Krishna entered Dwarka, he had a big, large, white, old conch. And as he blew on that conch, it became reddened by Krishna's transcendental lips, and which is like a pure white swan that is dancing in the red lotus flower stems. So this is the beauty of the conch. And so the conch is also used generally in the temples. At the start of the temple, Krishna is calling us in. Please come to the temple. Please come to my lotus feet. And when you go to the temple, you'll hear that sound. And this is not an ordinary sound vibration. It's a sound vibration of Om, peace, divine peace, and just Krishna calling us. Oftentimes the conch is blown after the ghee lamp, so that we are being purified from this material, blazing world of miseries. So it is very auspicious, and it's a sign of purification. The water from the conch is purification, and we all take that purification all the time. This water is from Krishna. Krishna is non-different. So that is the conch. And there is so much more to it, but just understanding that, the beginningness. Also, the conch is used in many other religions. In Islam, it's calling on Samad or the Allah. They also, in a lot of religions, calling on celestial beings. Native Americans, they call on the conch for connection with the sun and the moon and the sky in general. Many other religions use a conch of different kinds. In Greece, I think they use a trumpet to call on, so they have that same sound vibration. So the next is the sky, and the sky is here, it's depicted with two circles, and it's also showing that Krishna is all-pervading, Krishna is everywhere, and amongst the earth Krishna is here, and also amongst the sky, but it's also considered detachment or being unattached, because when you look up the sky, it's like unattached. So that teaches us about detachment. And also Krishna is within and without. So Krishna is everywhere. And also this is an understanding of pure love of Krishna. So I want to ask a question to everyone. Has anybody here ever held a newborn baby? It doesn't have to be yours, it could be just a newborn baby. And if you haven't, have you ever held like a baby puppy or a kitten or any other baby of any kind? So can you tell me the essence of what you felt when you held that newborn baby? What is the essence of that?
Purity.
Purity? Yeah. Anybody? Love.
Right before I came here, I was holding an 8-week-old baby.
Oh, just now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just amazed that Krishna can, create this tiny little creature that's just got everything it needs, but then it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Right, absolutely. But you said amazed. Amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
So
That's
amazing
why-
is, yeah.
Inseparable also.
Yeah, what's that?
Inseparable when you.
Inseparable?
Yeah, you cannot use
Yeah.
so close.
Yeah.
I had the same thing like surprise and amazement.
Yes,
Wow.
surprise, amazing.
Somebody, living being is here.
Yeah. So, what to speak of the mother, that suddenly the baby is here, and that connection, that feeling of love, that bonding feeling. So, so that baby is also you, because you were also like that. You were a newborn baby, and everybody thought, wow, amazing, love, beautiful, purity, all these things. And it's almost indescribable to really even put words to it, but that is that feeling that you all are. And as we get older, we forget that. When we look at somebody, we don't necessarily, wow. If you see a new baby, all of us, we go, oh, so pure, so wonderful. It just touches our heart. And this is, why do we have newborn babies? To remind us of love like that. This is love without conditioning. At this point, this baby's done nothing to anybody. Hasn't hurt you, hasn't told you no, or anything like that at this point. So we feel that love and that connection, but this is non-different from Krishna. So Krishna is even teaching us, even by newborn babies, about love. You know, love and the purity of love, that feeling. And Krishna's feet are non-different from that. But could you imagine if we feel like that about a newborn baby, what do we feel about Krishna's lotus feet? That connection, it's so beautiful, it's so loving, it almost fills you up because it's so heartfelt. And so this love is there. So at the same time, we are not, they are independent beings. We've cut the umbilical cord. So there is a detachment at the same time. Now this doesn't mean we don't have a bond. We have a bond with that person, a newborn, if they're our family member. But at the same time, we become attached. But we want to become detached. When we're too attached, we become possessive. And that possessiveness is not pure love. It's control. So we want to understand what detachment is, and that is part of the unattachment that we have at the sky, and also that Krishna is everywhere and taking care of everybody all the time, even the baby. Of course, as a parent, we're going to feel that attachment, that responsibility, but at the same time, this is Krishna's child. And so the next one we have here is the bow, and the bow is connected with lots of archery and everything, but it's also understanding that Krishna helps us through any distresses. Krishna is in control. It's like the battle we have within us. We often battle. So we just talked about the baby. As the baby gets a little older and older, it starts to get a little rebellious. They start to feel, we were at Christmas time, we were in Oregon, and we went into a store to get a gift, and there was a child in there, and the child was, I want this and I want that. There was all the toys around. I want the bigger one. I want. All you kept hearing is I want. The desire was getting stronger and stronger. And of course the guardians were saying, no, we're not having this, it's too much, or etc. But the child, the more they couldn't get it, the more they were feeling the distress inside of them. And this is a young child, and so this is what happens as we age. And as we age, our desires get bigger, our wants get bigger. I want this, I want a big house, I want a nice car, I want an up-to-date phone, etc. We want, we're desiring all the time. And by this desire, we become distressed. We can't cope, so we develop anxieties and all sorts of issues that we have. So in order to really get through this, we have to understand what is going on inside of us. So we could say, what is another, I can ask you again, what is another word, what comes under fear? What kind of emotions come under fear? Anger. Frustration.
Feel alone. You feel alone,
Alone, loneliness, depression. Yeah. So these feelings are the opposite to what the baby, right? The baby was purity and love and all these things. So under fear, we've got these emotions. So these emotions came up starting from the child, that I want and they couldn't have, and it triggers other emotions. And so it becomes painful and become cold-hearted and unfriendly with others, and all these things happen. The emotions start coming up. In some cases, people become murderers. They're in jail. I mean, many cases all over the world. There's people in prison. There's people that their lives are like that due to this, due to fear, due to emotions that have come up in their lives. But those people that were in jail that we're talking about, the murderers and all, they were cute little babies at one point. They were born and they were amazing and pure and loving. So that is there as well. So what happened to them? What happened to them? This is what the bow is showing us. We're under distress, and Krishna is in control. Love is in control. Love is stronger than fear. We want to, with our egos, we get caught into the fear base, and our egos get stronger, and we want to do things. We want to do crimes or things like that. But love is much more powerful, because this love is Krishna. The real love, pure love, is Krishna. So that's the only thing that can really combat the fear, is Krishna. So surrendering to Krishna's lotus feet releases any of that fear. And the next one we have here is the cow's hoof print, well, actually the calf's hoof print, a very small hoof print, which is on here. And this is showing us that all the activities in the material world become very, very small when we connect and surrender to Krishna, because our spiritual understanding becomes much more expansive. And as we expand spiritually, the material desires, miseries, and all of that becomes very, very small, just like a calf's hoof print. You can just step over it. So it's very important to understand how we can really move into the transcendentalness of Krishna's lotus feet and be free from all this pain and struggle that we carry around. It's like, imagine you're carrying your dirty laundry from week after week after week, and you're just carrying it with you. That's really what we do when we're holding inside a lot of these painful experiences that start from when we're really young, and it just carries on and carries on. So we want to let go of that and just allow our spiritual life to take over. We don't need to be worrying about all these things that's going on in the material world, because Krishna takes care of us. And as we understand this, as our spiritual expansion does get bigger and the material gets smaller, we understand how we can trust in Krishna and how Krishna works for us. So the next one here is the triangle. Now the triangle represents a few different things. It's like a three-pointed edge here, three-pointed edge, which is many things. The lower world, the intermediate world, and the upper world. The three modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So in the sattvic is what we really want to be more connecting with, because this is what's going to lead us more to the transcendental. So the sattvic life is more of a pious life. We do everything in a clean way. We're not going out doing crimes and things like that. The passion and ignorance leads more into the negative, the darkness. That's where Maya wants to capture us. So in passion and ignorance, that's also there in the world, in everything we do. If you go down a really, really busy street with lots of cars and lots of activity, you can feel that passion, and many times feel that ignorance. If you're, on a street where there's a lot of crime going on and things like that, then you can feel that ignorance there. If you go into a restaurant and there's a lot of meat and things like that, you can feel the mode of ignorance there. So it's there in food. It's in food that we eat. So we generally, as devotees, we eat food that's sattvic. Obviously, no meat, fish, eggs, no onions and garlic. The onions are in the mode of passion, so that makes you very agitated. And that agitation causes our minds to go in a negative direction. So we try to avoid being in passion and ignorance. When we're in the mode of goodness, it's easy for us to understand spiritual life a lot more. It's easier for us to get to the point of surrender, even though sometimes in the mode of passion and ignorance we're also in distress at times. That could also lead us there. But we're aiming to get into the mode of goodness. So that's what the triangle is representing. It's also representing within our bodies for us to keep healthy. Our bladder is triangular. Our kidneys, the top of our kidneys, are triangular as well. And this helps us as we bring prana into our body, divine breath, because the air that we breathe is divine. It comes from Krishna, which we take for granted at times. We just think, I'm breathing air. But actually this is from Krishna. So just taking note of that and knowing that even within us, our organs are being nourished. And this is part of the triangular system as well. And then the next one we have here is the pitcher or the water pots, which comes from the Ganges. Krishna is the Ganges. He's with water. It's purification. Without purification, we are lost in many ways. Just like you're under fear. If you're under fear, it's like a feeling of loss. But if we understand that there is never ever any loss, everything is gain. It just appears like loss. So we think, I've lost this, I've lost my parent, I lost, something happened, or I physically lost my purse. If we start thinking about loss in that way, then we become stuck. We feel like we're, a victim in that way. And everything bad happens to me. Why does this happen to me? But really, there's never any loss. We just need to understand, what does that mean? Why is this happening that way? Because when somebody leaves their body, everybody says, I'm sorry for your loss. There's never any loss. Nobody's lost. First of all, they can still be here with us in our heart. And it's just the material body, which is matter. But the soul is eternal. And there's gain. There's always gain, always. And if we understand it in terms of gain, then we'll understand the alignment within us and the alignment within the world that we're living in, and that Krishna is alignment, and that alignment connects with us. So when we understand that, we understand the adoration that we have for Krishna, for this, even this material world. We have adoration for it because it has been created and it can be utilized for Krishna always. We utilize everything for Krishna, even the most modern things or the most modern phones and computers. We can utilize all this for Krishna. It's not necessarily a negative thing. It's positive if we utilize it for Krishna, which is like anything. So let me just see the time. So understanding the water is purification as well, cleansing. It is like divine nectar, that we can have divine nectar all the time because the divine nectar is pouring from Krishna's lotus feet always, at all times. And if we are ready, if we are here, present, in Krishna's presence, then we can taste that nectar all the time. it's not that Krishna doesn't come to us, but we open up to Krishna. We open up and Krishna comes to us, and we feel that closeness. We're not waiting for Krishna to come to us. We're open and we're ready and we're surrendering. And that's all we need to do is to surrender and let go and trust. Trust in Krishna. And let go of being the controller, because the controlling comes under the fear. And when we're in that fear, we're going on a downward, very, very, very dark path. So we can go towards the newborn baby. If that is what will help you, bring you to Krishna, just think of the newborn baby, the purity, the love, the amazement, and then understand from there Krishna's lotus feet, because this baby comes from Krishna, not from us. Even as a parent, this is not my doing. Like, oh, I had a child. I'm so proud. I'm so great. How great I had a baby. This is not my child. This belongs to Krishna. If we understand it like that, even my daughter, sometimes she gets a little distressed. She's at college. She's out of state. And if she's a little distressed, and I have a little cute thing I do with her. She's 21. And then after a while I say, I remember when you were such a cute little baby, when you were just born, and you were so cute in your cheeks. And it literally changes her, because it brings her into thinking about a little baby. So it in the love and all that bonding. And I still do it with her, with both my kids. I have a 24-year-old as well, and it's just something I do with them. It just brings it back into that love and that connection in that way, and they feel it too. So, if I'm in a supermarket or anywhere and I see a newborn baby or a little baby, I have to go up and just take a glance, because that reminds me again of that love. So just seeing a baby like that just really, really helps bring you back into that consciousness of just pure love. And wow, and how amazing Krishna is, to create this way, to create something for us to feel that way, and to understand that you are this little baby. It's still you. You're just in a bit of a bigger body, got a bit older and a bit more conditioned, but you're still beautiful, amazing, open, pure, wonderful babies. You are still that. And if somebody might tell you differently, someone might say, you're really unworthy, or I don't like you, I think you don't do very well, and I don't want to know you anymore, I don't want you to be my friend. But really, that's not true. That's an illusion. It's not true, because you are amazing and wonderful, because you come from Krishna. Krishna created you, and all you have to do is open up to Krishna, and Krishna will accept you. You offer to Krishna with love and devotion. Krishna, I want to surrender to you. I want to be your devotee. And we have a whole disciplic succession going on right to our gurus. So we have a way, we have a pathway to reach there. And this is the beauty, this is what we have. This is what's been given to us, handed to us, really. And how amazing to have this association with each other and express everybody's amazing love with each other. That we all love each other because we know we come from love. And that this is what we're expressing with each other. When we're reading Krishna's books and in association, we're saying to each other, I love you, I care about you. And look what we're connecting with. We're connecting with Krishna's lotus feet. How amazing we get to do that. I mean, what else can you think of to do outside of this that would you make you any happier? Is there anything? If you go to a movie, will you find it? You can go spend $500 and go see a really nice play somewhere. I mean, you can do so many things. Are you going to have that same feeling that, wow, I'm in loving association and we're all connecting with Krishna's lotus feet. We're all in that worship. We're part of that worship. Where else could you go for that? If you know, let me know. But Otherwise, I just know that this is the best. So then we come to the half moon. So the moon is considered like Krishna, 10 toes are considered like 10 full moons, just so bright. Could you imagine that? 10 full moons. And last night I think was a full moon. And how bright that is. 10 full moons at Krishna's feet, Krishna's toes.
Tell them what your name is.
Oh, Chandrika, yeah, which is coming from the moon as well. It's Chandrika. Sarvakanti, yeah.
All the effulgence of 10 moons.
Yes, exactly, 10 moons. And but the half moon here is depicting that when people are in distress, which is like when distress happens, it's almost like the moon becomes ashamed and it becomes darkened, and that's why it becomes halfway. And that is like the Maya coming in. When Maya comes into us, it's like we shrivel up inside, and it's like shame. So therefore, there's only half the brightness is there from the moon. And this is where again we find our way to surrender, so we can become understanding of Krishna in the full moon state and not just in the half moon. It's also indicating if you're half-hearted about something, and then therefore you're not fully surrendering to Krishna. You're just halfway saying, oh, I understand this transcendental understanding, I've read everything, jnana yoga, I know everything, but I'm not fully surrendering. That is being halfway. So this is what this is showing here, is we don't have to be halfway. We don't have to just say, hey, yeah, and I surrender to Krishna, but I have this problem that I have to sort out, so I'll deal with Krishna afterwards. Let me sort out my problem first. No. We surrender to Krishna and allow this to happen, allow Krishna to work through us as we surrender. So this is the moon, and then we have the fish, which is like Matsya, incarnation, and this is just teaching us that sometimes our minds are very fickle and we want to wander, and the fish is showing us that just as the fish just lives in water, and we are living here in this material world, but we're not fully here in the material world because we're with Krishna. And this is what this is showing, and also that the fish is showing us that Krishna protects us just like he did as Matsya, as a fish. He saved everybody from a great flood. And Krishna, can take us in a boat and just take us into his lotus feet, and then from there we feel immediately purified as we connect with Krishna's lotus feet. We need that purification. As we understand from the conch and all through, it's all really about purification. And we're here to be purified, and we can be purified because we have the answer. We have the answer through the disciplic succession, that we can surrender to Krishna. We have that opportunity. You have that opportunity. All of you do, because you're also beautiful, amazing beings, loving beings, pure beings. You're no different from the little baby. And we have that opportunity because we understand with each other that we are connected to Krishna in that way. We are aligned with Krishna, with Krishna's presence, always. So again, I have a poem, a little poem that I want to play, which is for the left foot. Last week the poem was for the right foot, this one is for the left. And so we're going to play that poem. Maybe we can turn the lights down a bit. And this poem is all these symbols on the left foot.
The sound of the divine brings warmth to the mouth of the tuned conch shell. With victory, all souls relish such purification, such colour and invested shapes bring hope to all. Yet as the sky is unattached, yet sends forth our nourishment. Best not to worry, for the mighty bow will deliver those who have lost their way. O Lord Krishna, you are the supreme. May we realize our insignificance, yet see the mark of the calf's delicate hoofprint, lest it not fade upon us. As the three-pointed directions carry the energy of the wanted, a triangle of clusters are left to untangle, only to ponder amongst the three worlds. Lord Krishna, may we taste the nectar of your continuous flow, and may our hearts find solace in the fullness you bring. Yet our water pots are yet to fill. Lord Krishna, may I dance to your worship as your splendorous toenails illuminate 10 moons, for such brightness may lose its power unto the devastation of Maya's darkness. And only half the moon will express its light. Yet within oceans and rivers alike, a tiny fish that finds its growth, as I calm my mind, there will be no wonder. This is no destiny other than your beauty. Your lotus feet are my prayers, for you, Lord Krishna, are all-pervading and always glistening, the true essence of divinity.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Very good.
Are there any questions? Kenta?
Oh, Prabhu. Thank you so much for bringing the concept of being like a child. Prabhupada often says pure devotees should be like childlike.
Mm-hmm.
They are very innocent and pure, and they are not influenced by three modes of material nature, and always happy in Krishna's association. So that is really great, great thing to meditate on, and act like, not like childish, but become like a childlike.
Right.
That's what Prabhupada said.
Right.
Thank you so much.
And of course we have baby Krishna, who's always so cute and mischievous in a very transcendental way. So it's always good to hear the pastimes of Krishna as a young child.
See, I was thinking about when a baby when the soul take a baby's body, and the baby is so cute, and we visualize this baby, we are adoring like a little angel, you know, like he's sinless, no sin.
Right.
And the more, because this material world is very, it's not a contagious or contaminated place, and we will think oh, this baby is so cute. The more you get older, the more you become thankful.
Right.
So we wonder is all these beauty of this baby, all these things, where is gone? Where, So can you
Well,
explain that?
it's like our hearts are pure, but they become dirty. Prabhupada said that our hearts can become dirty, unclean in that way. So we have to, in order to clean our hearts, we have to connect with Krishna. Chanting the Maha Mantra is cleansing us also. We're having our connection with Krishna, but we're cleansing at the same time. So this is the only way we can.
So it's two way because of his past karma, and also this material is so contaminated. So you get all these things also,
Well, we were originally with Krishna, but we decided we wanted to be independent and come here. So we're coming into a sinful place in a way, a sinful atmosphere. But we have a way, to get out of it, to understand.
Another thing I heard from somebody, the cuteness of the baby is his protection.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's love.
Yes.
That is.
Because
is
nobody,
the love.
everybody sees baby so cute.
Yeah.
You don't want to hurt him. So
Right.
that is protection.
We feel that love, and that's the love that is, as we said, indescribable
Like
feeling.
my little cheese.
Sorry, Ram don't want to.
No problem.
I put him in the background because he's.
I was wondering, going off the baby thing here, is there any significance to the placement of the symbols on the feet?
It starts off with the conch, and then and it's going around. Yeah. So is that what you mean?
Well, I was just wondering, why the conch isn't on the heel, or if there's a. I don't know if you know that. I was just wondering.
Yeah,
Because I first thought, I thought that was a mustache actually. I thought that was
I was thinking the same thing, the mustache.
I'm really glad to say I didn't blurt it out, but I think I wasn't the only one that thought that. So.
Everyone, if you're a male, please grow a moustache.
This is a Christian.
It'll remind you of the bow.
So when we reach Krishna's lotus feet with the face and all this swastika, chinna, they are gradually taking us to the complete Krishna consciousness slowly but gradually.
Mm-hmm.
So finally there's a all the complete protection. So beginning from the face, because we are very, very, very chanchal, we are very flickering in this material world, and then slowly it develops to the next stage, and finally we fixed our mind.
I guess still going off of the baby thing, it was recently my Guru Dev had said something that was more so, I can't remember exactly, but it was more so kind of like, we can't have this like openness or like attraction to Krishna consciousness unless we have some innocence, which I thought was really nice to hear, because in our society it's more like innocence is seen as almost like a negative quality, like, oh,
Right.
you're naive, you're too innocent, you need to be tough, and like, so then also hearing it here again, it's like reaffirming that it's,
Right.
at least in Krishna consciousness, I mean, our hearts are supposed to melt like butter, we're supposed to be
Exactly.
sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, because like say with a newborn, it melts your heart, to that love. But love also, people are afraid to love many times because they think if they love, then they're going to get crushed. Their emotions are going to be hurt, which is really fear. So oftentimes people are loving really under fear. The real love, pure love, is the love like the baby. That is the pure love. But many times people go through relationships and marriages under the fear of love, which is not the real love. They're more, it's a control to each other. I'm going to control you. And if within that marriage they want to have a real loving exchange with each other, many times they don't do that. Many times it's almost, you may think, oh, okay, they're married, okay. But to really have that real love with each other, because one of the main reasons is because you think, oh my God, what if you leave me? What if you die? So even if it's not that you're going to leave me because of some other reason, you may die, and then I'll be alone. So I better not get so attached to you. But see, that's the difference between attachment, detachment, and love. Love is so pure that you want to help one another. Like we said, we're all brothers and sisters. We're all connected here through love. But if we understand that on a Krishna conscious level, we feel that connection with each other. If we're looking at love from a fear-based, I love you because you gave me this, or I will love you if you give me something. So that is the difference between pure love and the other, which is not really love, but it's under the name of love. So yes, innocence is connected with that love. You know, and that's, like I said, with my daughters, I still say, I remember you when you were a baby, because
I was doing that with my boys today. We were looking at baby pictures and they're like, oh, baby.
Yeah.
And they were just...
Because that's remembering them also. You know, they go through the conditionings and they go through the no, and many people, they have children, and sometimes the children and the parents don't speak anymore. That, you know, something happens within the family that gets triggered, and they have all this separation, and all these things happen. And so why is that? You know, that is there because that innocence is no longer there that you're talking about. They've just gone into the fear and the anger.
It is said that love is only possible with God. God is completely selfless personality. We all have some kind of selfishness in our heart, and there is some expectation. So that kind of love is called lust. When Bhismadev was lying in a bed of arrows, and Krishna came to see him. Krishna brought all the Pandavas to see and get instruction from Bhismadev. And Bhismadev was remembering, you are equal to all living beings. I was shooting arrows to you in the battlefield, and I was so fighting against you, but my dear Lord, you are coming to give me pure love. So that is real love.
Yeah.
Even though we are very, very envious to God, but Krishna still loves us without considering our material condition. So any love in this material world, all this boyfriend, girlfriend, the family member, this is not real love, it is lost if it is not connected to Krishna. So
Srila Prabhupada also said, this love comes from the spiritual world. So like it's
called
from
prema.
the spiritual, from Krishna. And the so-called love, they call here, oh, I want to make love, lust.
Yeah.
That's ignorant. So, because people are so ignorant, they like my go wrote a book about.
That's why I was, it reminded me.
Concerning love to love.
Right. So we just stay connected with our babyhood, and we'll connect with Krishna easily.
Thank you for the wonderful talk. I was hoping we could continue the conversation during Prashant.
Yeah.
all right, yeah.